All right. Yeah, got the final part of this. Yeah, King Von raps for a serial killer. Um, yeah, let's go.
Real quick, for the feds come.
Go on then.
But not one to let some meddling cops get in the way of his booming rap career, a couple of days later, Von would drop his debut studio album, Welcome to O Block, on October the 30th, 2020, a date which coincidentally was the anniversary of T-Roy's birthday and the murder of P5. Welcome to O Block had some bold songs, where Von would hint further at the crimes he'd allegedly committed, and ironically, the very first lyric of that album would see Von admitting that the cops were onto him.
Too.
By this point, Von's lyricism was the sharpest it had ever been, and he really did have a talent for using music to communicate the dark reality behind the life that he had lived. Another line on that opening track, Armed and Dangerous, really stuck out to me, where Von raps that he has inflicted tragedies, massacres, and casualties on his ops, admitting that he did a lot of things to people that he can't remember, but he knows that they remember him. He would reminisce on October 2012 when he had allegedly killed numerous people, rapping that people were dying all of October, and that it's the real Halloween. There was also the track Demon, where Von would open up about becoming a killer after the death of his friend White White, a track featuring a lyric where he claimed to have killed 7 people, saying bodies I got a few, 4 plus 3, 3 plus 2. This is a line a lot of people assumed meant 7 kills and 5 assists, or killings that he was present for. But my interpretation of this would actually be that it's Von saying that he killed 7 people personally before he became a rapper, and 5 people who were killed by his crew, either while he was allegedly present, like in the case of Lil Mark, or allegedly on his orders, like would have been the case with FBG Duck. Hell, some people would even count Dooski to King Von's body count, because after all, Von would claim that he was smoking Dooski after his death, having tweeted not long before that you can only smoke somebody if you had something to do with killing them. If you include that, that would make a full 12 bodies that King Von has been associated with over the years. Combine that with the fact that Von would end this song by boldly saying F FBG Duck, then I think it becomes pretty clear that he's trying to take responsibility for this killing. Another song on the album called The Code would see King Von rapping about splitting $100,000 with his team and being goated, a line that hits different when you know that he allegedly paid $100,000 to have Duck killed and tweeting a goat emoji immediately after the murder took place. Von would only be alive for around a week following the release of this project, but recording numerous songs and freestyles that referenced his alleged murders, like King Von's Audio Mac Bless the Booth 3 style, where he straight up rapped that he had 7 bodies. On the 2nd of November, he would tweet that people want to kill him with a yawning emoji. Clearly, Von was not scared. In fact, one of the very last things that Von did was an interview with DJ Academics, and a big part of this interview was the discussion of Von's beefs. Academics would press Von about his earlier tweets, suggesting that Von had been lying about him and FBG Duck squashing their beef, with Von denying that he was lying and suggesting that somebody else had deleted their DMs.
You know you and Duck didn't make up. His mom came out. They said you and Duck.
Gang, how you gonna tell? See that this ain't right. Gang, how y'all gonna tell?
His mom said that would never happen.
His mama was not there. I ain't never met his mama. I don't know his mama. You see what I'm saying? I've talked to him. You see what I'm saying? Then they deleted all our DMs, so I can't show him the. I don't know why they do that.
From here, a flustered King Von would try and sidestep his past beef with Duck, saying that they just went to school together.
They just make it look real crazy to y'all. These just really people we all went to school with.
That shit do look crazy to me. I kid you not.
That's how they make it. But then,
like, yo,
you gotta understand, like you said, they right there down the street. We went to school. Like, it ain't that serious, you know. And then, you know, it's just that we ain't cool no more. It was, you know, but it ain't that serious. Like, it's to the point where let's talk about it. It ain't. That's both of us rapping. We can figure something out. We need to stop all the violence, all the shit. That shit. We got a voice, you see what I'm saying? Like, if we tell Chicago far back, tell Chicago far back.
Eventually, Academics would ask Von how he felt when he heard about Duck's death, and Von would start slowly eating cereal, saying that he was hurt by Duck's death in an incredibly unconvincing manner.
Were you saddened by the news that he was murdered then?
Man, that shit hurt. I ain't even go to sleep that night. I can't believe that.
At a certain point, Von tells Academics to hold on. He would then point the camera away from his face, and we would hear what sounds like Von and his friends laughing off camera. And before Von came back on camera, for a very brief moment, we got a glimpse of Von's friend from O Block, BJ, laughing in the background.
Hold on, man. Let's talk about some other shit though. Let's talk about some other shit though.
I can't help but notice the fact that Von is eating cereal whilst discussing the killing of Duck.
Wait, you eat just cereal straight out of the box, no milk?
I'm a gangster.
I've said it before that I believe Von was a serial killer, but honestly, he's mentioned cereal so many times.
I do that too. Yeah, I'm a gangster too, Von, for that.
During his career, it really wouldn't surprise me if this was some kind of cryptic message that he was using to signal to fans that he saw himself as a serial killer, with Duck as his latest victim. He would strangely tweet about how much he loves his cereal after a series of alleged murders in 2012, even tweeting that eating cereal is the first thing he does after shooting someone. He would promote Dirk's cereal whilst they were both on the run from the Atlanta shooting at the Varsity, telling people on Twitter to buy the cereal whilst waving a clip of a gun, and regularly posting himself on social media eating cereal. And he would also be eating cereal when he told the world that he wanted to perform at FBG Duck's funeral.
Yeah, cereal be busting, so. They say King Von featuring FBG Duck. I said that's what they want to see, huh? Stop that, man. I'll perform at his funeral.
Then, when we finally saw the actual murder of FBG Duck and academics asked him about it, at that very moment, Von would decide to start eating cereal too. Maybe it's a stretch, but that day when academics called Von, he probably knew he would be asked about FBG Duck. And he made sure to have that box of cereal within arm's reach, so that the whole world would see him crunching on cereal at that exact moment. Sadly for Von, soon after this interview, he would end up on the other side of the gun, getting shot himself and ultimately losing his life. But, in a final twist of irony, it would turn out that despite being connected to so many murders in his home city, Von would seemingly end up losing his life in an altercation in another state, and as a result of a petty rap beef that had nothing to do with his violent past in the street. Throughout King Von's career, he was connected to a female rapper by the name of Asian Doll, with fans often speculating on whether their supposed relationship was genuine or simply a fake celebrity romance for clout. Apparently, Asian met King Von just after Lil Durk had signed to the same label as her, with the label arranging a celebrity basketball game where Durk would bring Von onto the court whilst Asian Doll was on the sidelines.
This the first time I saw we was in just a basket. It's out here. We was in New York. I seen little booty over there in the square. Look. You know, I ain't saying nothing to her. She was looking decent and she was looking good. But I ain't saying nothing to her. She was right there hooping and shit. Then they ain't had no jewelry and all that, no money like that. So I'm like, she had a big ass Gucci glasses, Gucci this and Gucci that. And we was playing basketball against Meek and them, me and Dirk. Oh.
Dirk had just got signed to my label, Alamo. So they're like, Asian, we having a celebrity basketball game. Do you want to do it? I'm like, hell yeah. I'll play basketball because they know I used to play basketball. So when they told me who to play, they like Meek Mill, Dirk. But so I remember Bone playing basketball. They playing, we sitting on the side. He was playing so much rough. I'm like, why the fuck is he so rough? He was playing rough, y'all. Like, he was rough. Like, he was jumping up. He was doing all type of rough shit. He probably was trying to show out the whole time for me. I ain't know. I'm looking at his ass like he crazy.
Apparently, King Von would see Asian Doll again in the studio and at a release party with Lil Durk, where they would flirt and eventually agree to go on a date.
But then I see her again at the studio. She did a feature with Dirk. And I'm steady flirting with her, trying to talk to her. She left and shit. Then I see her again. Now I'm fake drunk at the little release party for Dirk album. I see her. But I ain't know she was fake talking to somebody else right there. But I'm on her. I'm off the, whatever, the licking and shit. So I'm grabbing her hand, trying to talk to her and shit. Oh.
Von just kept bothering me. And then I'm just like, bro, who is this boy? He just kept bothering me, bro. Bothering me. We walking out, y'all. I don't even know this man. This man got his hand around my waist. I'm like, whoa.
Nah, I take Dirk's phone, I get in his DM, like, talk to my brother. Ooh. And then she ain't talking to Dirk. Oh, man, talk to my brother. Ooh, I'm taking that DM and shit.
It's him. That's hilarious.
I'm like, no. I said no a million times. No, bitch. I said no so much I got tired of saying no. I'm like, let me go on a date with you. As soon as I said okay, this man Bun called me in seconds.
She sent the number and I was saying she live in Atlanta. Now, when I go to the crib, now Dirk out of town. He left his truck in my car. He got a track car. That raw. So I got Dirk's car today. So I go pick up and I tell her I'm going to take her out and
King Von would actually pick up Asian for their first date in Lil Durk's Jeep Trackhawk, the very same truck that they caught their attempted murder charge in Atlanta. But in the end, the date between Asian Doll and King Von was apparently a success.
You know I ain't slow. I knew the Dirk car. I ain't thinking, oh my God, he got a car. They got 300 on it. I'm like, that's Dirk car. Because I had already seen Dirk post the car. But it was so cute because I'm like, these sticking together, that's crazy. They like Dirk helping him out, letting him to the car for the weekend just so it can impress me.
So I got a little money. I only had I was up, I had like $600 in my
and a little outfit, a nice little outfit. My aunt, I put that on. Took some of Dirt cologne and shit. Took his con shower and go took out to eat and shit.
So he came pick me up. He kept calling, making sure I was gonna get ready. He like, get ready. After the day get cold. So he had his jacket on. He was trying to give me his jacket, but he was cold. So I just got under his jacket with him. And then it's like my chest touched his chest. Our hearts touched each other's hearts. Everything just connected when I hugged him after the first date. And then we went to the house.
They would make a connection and eventually make their relationship official. Asian Doll would even release a song called Grandson about King Von on Valentine's Day 2019, with him appearing in the music video. In a March 2019 interview with Lil Durk, a shy King Von would reveal publicly that he was indeed dating Asian Doll.
King Von, I'm saying he in a relationship too.
Shout out Asian Dad.
Okay.
Yeah, he go in, yeah.
You heard it here, man. He looking at you like, come on, man.
Von would go on to drop light-hearted tweets about his super savage friends laughing at people who only knew him online as Asian Doll's boyfriend. But the two of them would indeed be an item, and she would need to deal with the baggage of dating a super savage. When Von got arrested for attempted murder, Asian would be in tears over her boyfriend's incarceration.
I've been on the plane for 20 hours. Everybody. I was crying. I miss my boyfriend, my husband, everything. But I'm better. He want me to be out here turned up, so I got all my crying out on the plane. Now I'm finna just turn up.
Von would even call Asian Doll from jail, joking that he would be beating her up when he gets home.
Free my jail. I miss him.
You talking about?
Man, what?
Nah, it's clear.
Talking about who I'm talking about? You. I'm always talking about you.
Always.
Always.
People always talking about me. I was catching some shit like, nah, this ain't talking about me on camera.
What? So you crazy. If it was good, yeah, I'm talking about you.
I don't get no fucking bad. That's the thing. I don't know good, bad.
If it's bad, I'm on there with yours. I'm being
Talk
ass.
about me if it's bad. Don't talk about nobody else.
Nah, I'm just gonna be ass first, ask questions later if it's bad. I ain't got time.
I ain't being funny. What is the point in all this? Is this gonna have some relevance to, like, why are we watching the start of our relationship? Like, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Two famous people. Yeah, why are we hearing all this? Like, we've basically just started their relationship. It's like, I don't care. What happened to the serial killer thing? Unless it's going to come up and be relevant in time. But I don't really see what the point in all this is. Who cares who he's fucking?
I already seen your husband like that. You don't even know.
You're not beating me up. We're not gonna do that.
Eventually, Von would return home and be reunited with Asian Doll, but ironically this time it would be Asian getting Von in trouble. While out on bail for that attempted murder, King Von would end up getting into a fist fight with a man in a studio who had apparently called Asian Doll a bitch, being sent back to jail for a brief period.
Somebody called my girlfriend a bitch yesterday. Tell him what happened to my hand, bro.
Folks overbeat his ass.
And despite Von winding up in jail for it, it would appear that Asian Doll would actually appreciate Von's protection, calling him her bodyguard on Twitter, with Von himself saying that he wishes she wasn't a rapper so that he could keep her home and protect her, saying that he doesn't trust her around other rappers.
But isn't it nice to have somebody in the same industry as you?
No, that ain't. I'd rather have. I wish I can't say I wish she wasn't a rapper, nothing like that. But it'd be better if I knew like she's at the house instead of going around all these people that ain't around and. Damn, what's going on? Now I'm just thinking, damn, what the fuck she doing? Why she answering the phone?
And that's how she be
She
feeling.
feel the same. I just said that.
No, I understand. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I wish my nigga was in the damn house.
No.
Oh, so
You
it's
feel what
been
I'm
times
saying?
where you didn't like a nigga and she had to work with him.
I'm not gonna say nothing because you gotta be.
Feel like y'all
You gotta be for sure with yourself,
yeah.
man. I know I'm that. So.
Von was clearly very possessive about Asian Doll, even tweeting that he would kill somebody for messing with her. With that in mind, it's no surprise that eventually it would be another rapper that would seemingly get in between Von and Asian, and that rapper would be none other than Baton Rouge gangster rap superstar NBA YoungBoy. Now, King Von had a strange relationship with YoungBoy over the years. King Von would be dissing NBA YoungBoy all the way back in February 2019.
You for YoungBoy? Why? I'm just damn. Man, hang up
Go ahead, say you f***ing, I'm gonna hang up on your ass.
Don't, alright, son.
I just laugh. You f***ing though?
He alright.
He cool,
I
right?
don't know, so I can't speak on him.
He ain't all that, is he, though?
What's up? What you trying to say? Like,
I'm just trying to see how you feel about the He cool.
he's straight, but he's straight. He ain't better than you. He ain't better than you.
Yeah, for sure. Cause he don't be doing shit. I ain't gonna do it, cause he hey.
In March 2019, King Von would also diss YoungBoy again on social media, saying that his music is full of lies.
YoungBoy talking about on this song, bro.
What?
He talking crazy on this man.
Oh, yeah?
He ain't even like that.
Oh!
On his ass now.
On his
All that
ass.
cap. You got cap in your raps. You got cap in your rap.
But at other times, it seemed that Von quite admired YoungBoy. He'd often play his music and even tweeted welcome home to him in August when he was freed, as well as being seen on social media copying several of YoungBoy's mannerisms and quotes.
Boy, as my grandma raised me, you hear me? You know I ain't no hoe. What up?
My grandma raised me. You know I ain't no hoe.
Perhaps King Von was looking to catch YoungBoy lacking rather than admiring him, because clearly both Lil Durk and King Von were feeling competitive with NBA YoungBoy during this period. In October 2019, Lil Durk would reply to a DJ Academics tweet claiming that NBA YoungBoy was the best street rapper since the Chicago wave, with Lil Durk suggesting that Von was a realer street rapper who could actually compete with YoungBoy. In February 2020, Von would tweet indicating that YoungBoy was holding on to a song featuring both of them and telling him that he should release it. It would seem that Von and Asian Doll were on good terms around this time, with Von showing off a bunch of gifts and a love letter from her just a few days after Valentine's. However, by May 2020, Von would be tweeting that he was going through a rough breakup. Then, the following month, tweeting that Asian Doll was acting crazy and trying to embarrass other women. But a few days later, Von would tweet seemingly indicating that he was back on good terms with Asian Doll. Then, the following month, Von would tweet saying that he doesn't care what a woman does if it's not his girlfriend. A few weeks after that, in August, Von would tweet saying that he takes things too far when he gets mad. And tweeting saying that people won't believe the woman that he just made a hit with. That same day, images would surface of Von spending...
I don't care about any of this, like... Anyway, yeah, 2 seconds. I'll be back in a minute. Alright. Yeah, let's carry on with this gossip, girls. Shit. Yeah, I started to feel like my sister. I don't care about none of this.
Private time with the mother of NBA YoungBoy's child, a woman named Jania. And later, speculation swirled that Von and her may have even created a sex tape during their time together, after King Von tweeted that he could post a video that would make somebody stop claiming their own kids. And later, King Von's sister would also indicate that she had seen a video of Jania sleeping with somebody. DMs would also later circulate from somebody who was apparently with them when they met, suggesting that Von and Jania had indeed slept together, not recorded music. And Von would later rap on the song Rose Gold with PNB Rock, lyrics that seemed to suggest that somebody's baby mother was bad in bed. One of his friends, 600 Breezy, would congratulate King Von publicly for sleeping with his ops baby mother and saying Rapper K, suggesting that Von and his friends were looking to see NBA YoungBoy dead. However, Jania would take to social media to deny the rumours and say that she was simply working on music with Von to make money for her son.
We walked to the table to play the little game after my studio session and I went home. That's it. Y'all trying to make stories out of nothing. I don't that man. Like I said, I don't with no nigga. I've been working. We have a song coming out. Y'all wasn't supposed to know, but it is what it is now. We have a song coming out. So when the song come out, y'all gonna with it. Just know it's hard as I'm just trying to get my money to take care of my son. Period.
On top of that, DMs would also circulate suggesting that Von had indeed only worked on music with Jania to make Asian Doll mad. However, Asian would later come out and claim that the story wasn't true about them working on a song together, suggesting that she had actually found romantic DMs between Von and the mother of YoungBoy's child.
Now, I've seen that in them DMs. I've been seeing. None of this not a surprise. So all that songs, that dead. You on dick.
The day after those pictures of Von's rendezvous with Jania surfaced, YoungBoy would post a picture with a caption saying that he's going to make sure that his son grows up and sleeps with King Von's daughter since he's trolling him with his baby mother. And while this was all going on, another Chicago Black Disciple rapper close to King Von, Lil Reese, was claiming to be planning to beat up NBA YoungBoy's artist Quando Rondo. Quando would reply to this, saying that Reese won't do nothing,
Man, that nigga ain't gonna do nothing to me.
A few weeks after this, King Von would seemingly threaten YoungBoy and Quando Rondo, tweeting on September the 7th, 2020, that he hopes that God has room up there for more dead people. This seemingly provoked a response from Quando Rondo's right-hand man Lil Tim the next day, who warned Von and people from Chicago about messing with Quando. And this would seemingly be followed by a response from King Von the next day, tweeting, reminding the world that he has been fighting his whole life and that he hits hard as hell. The same day that all of this is going on with Von and Jania, NBA YoungBoy would drop a snippet of an unreleased song. This song later turns out to be the track Dead Trolls, and in this song, YoungBoy claims, like Von, to be responsible for 7 murders, and rapping that he's going to catch someone from out of town who is chasing after a girl and kill them. YoungBoy would also rap that his ops are mad because they can't get a feature from him. Perhaps a hint to a potentially uncleared collaboration between the two artists being held back by YoungBoy, as one of King Von's earlier tweets seemed to suggest. Some people would later claim that this song actually predicted King Von's death, with one lyric saying that he's planning to kill someone in Atlanta after a show. But chances are, that's just a creepy coincidence. But it's no coincidence that YoungBoy dropped this snippet the very day that Von was running around with...
How comes it's just a creepy coincidence when it's that matey, but all the things that Von said, he's using it as 100% cemented proof. But then he's saying, I'm going to catch someone out of town at a show in Atlanta, and then it happens, and...
mother of his child. A day later, Von would tweet claiming not to have a girlfriend and to simply be focusing on his career. But a few days after that, Von would tease a snippet of a new song of his own, a track titled Too Real. In this song, he would rap that he's going to expose somebody, and that he's going to kill somebody because of a rap beef. Then, in September, Von would jump on Instagram Live to address his ongoing beef with NBA YoungBoy, saying that he's not in beefs in the music industry and that he doesn't want to beef in other states, but also saying that he will beef people for no reason if they don't like him.
Look, for everybody, I ain't into nobody, you hear me? Towards the people I've been had beef with in the streets, you know what I'm saying? I want to be a tour with nobody from all in another town for no reason. Like, you got to be a tour with somebody for a reason. Just know we in tour, gang, okay? You see what I'm saying? I'm the type of I don't got to know why we in tour or nothing. You only got to tell me why you don't like me. Don't even tell me why you don't like me. I don't even care. Just let me know you don't like me. You see what I'm saying? Let me know how you don't like me. If that's what it is. Let me know. I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? Let me know. But I'm so gangster that I don't need a reason. It don't gotta be no reason. We can be into it. Like, I don't care. It don't gotta be a reason, for real. I'm into it, people. It don't gotta be no reason. I don't know why. I don't care why. But it can be that, you see what I'm saying? Well, I like to know why we into it. I like to, I need to, because I ain't no goofy. Like, what the and then I play hard. I ain't trying to lose. I can't lose to nobody. Lose to who? Who, Lloyd? Who I'ma lose to? Tell him, you've been knowing me, Lloyd. Don't I go hard at everything I do? Tell him, you came from, how you get a chain in your neck, Lloyd?
You know how. Clearly Von was still wanting to prod YoungBoy, and despite tweeting that he still isn't doing relationships, in September, Von and his sister were seen in the club with YoungBoy's baby mama once again.
2 days ago, Jania was spotted in the club with King Von's sister, and King Von was also there as well. You couldn't see them together, but you know they were together if you know.
With all of this going on, Asian Doll would be feeling the heat. At the start of October, Asian Doll would go on Instagram Live to address the situation with YoungBoy and Von, denying that Von embarrassed her and saying that if she's single, then it's got nothing to do with her.
Nobody embarrassed me, gang. Y'all need to get off my dick with that. Like, nobody embarrassed me. Nobody. It's nothing nobody did to embarrass me. I was not embarrassed. Like, damn, y'all hoes mad about a tweet. Like, y'all, like, dude don't even know you clowns. The f y'all hoes get left for me. The smack the shit out of one of you for me. You crazy. I don't get no. I'm a real bitch at the end of the day. Like I said, you would never see me sweat. You would never see me go outside behind nobody. I don't give a who you is, friend, anybody. Mind your business.
It's one of the most unattractive things to me in a girl is when the girl thinks they're tough. It's like, just shh. Do you know what I mean? You hang around the wrong men if... Yeah. like, that is just one thing I can't stand is, yeah, gangster girls. It's just like,
Single, like, they don't have nothing to do with me. I'm not stressing that shit. I'm not tweeting about nothing. They don't have to do with me, gang. Nothing. When somebody's single, so what? What they do? I don't get no that's what y'all problem.
Von later went live on October the 11th, 2020 with Asian Doll, apparently their first live together since their breakup, with them appearing to be on fairly good terms. Also in October, King Von would begin tweeting to promote a new song called Mine Too, a song essentially dissing NBA YoungBoy and saying that he's not going to beef about a girl because YoungBoy's baby mama Jania is his too. He'd also have a lyric saying that he has beef in NOLA, or Louisiana, where YoungBoy is from, and saying that YoungBoy is rapping like a gangster, but now he's got to show Von whether or not he really is a gangster. After this snippet released, Von would tweet saying once somebody has slept with a girl, he doesn't want her anymore, with this possibly being a hint towards Asian Doll moving on to NBA YoungBoy, with it actually being rumoured that Asian had met up with YoungBoy at some point during this time, with later DMs from people in NBA YoungBoy's camp suggesting that Asian Doll had indeed hooked up with YoungBoy before King Von passed away. And Asian Doll would seemingly admit to hooking up with YoungBoy twice on her song No Expose It. Apparently YoungBoy even had access to Asian Doll's phone and Instagram account during the time they had spent together, as he had reportedly messaged his producer through Asian Doll's Instagram account. And then, only days before King Von would end up losing his life, on November the 4th, 2020, YoungBoy posted a snippet of a song that he made with Asian Doll, a song with the ominous title Meet the Reaper. Von would be seen listening to the snippet of this YoungBoy and Asian Doll song, later tweeting that the song is trash, followed by yet another tweet alluding to there being a sex tape between him and NBA YoungBoy's baby mother. Von would then say that him and Jania's song is way better than Asian Doll and NBA YoungBoy's song, and saying that it has a better cover art, another hint that he might have had compromising pictures of YoungBoy's baby mother. Then Von would backtrack, saying that he's just playing, and that if Asian Doll is happy, he's happy, but the song still sounds trash. Then rehashing the lyric from his song Mine Too, once again indicating that Asian Doll and Jania are his girl too. The day before he was killed, King Von was incredibly active on Twitter. He would diss NBA YoungBoy, tweeting that rappers are pussy and that he's not one of them. He would warn people to approach him with caution, and he would say that his ops are acting gangster, but that's not what they're really like. Tweeting that he's not hurt, just retaliating to the disrespect he's received with no feelings involved, suggesting that what was going on was just entertainment, with Von eventually saying in another deleted tweet that he's going to lead by example because he's older than YoungBoy, and saying that he's quitting the beef because many wars have started over a woman and that he's not beefing YoungBoy. He would say that they're sharing the same women and that doesn't matter, and then in King Von's last recorded interview before his death with DJ Academics, he would touch upon his beef with NBA YoungBoy since coming into the industry. Von would deny that this was a real beef, saying that they have the same girls and the internet has just blown it out of proportion.
You know what people told me? People told me you and YoungBoy was beefing or something like that. You said something about what happened, Von? What's going on with you, man?
They be saying that a lot. It's like we got the same interests in hoes, and then you know how the internet will try to make it.
Don't tell me I got problems over girls.
No, it's the internet, gang. It's the you know, they'll try to make it like that because it's the internet. You see what I'm saying? And then you know how females will try to make it like that because they females, and they'll try to make it like one hard. They try to. It be just all type of shit. But it ain't nothing too serious, nothing you should worry about.
Unfortunately for Von, things would be very serious indeed, and the very night of that final interview, King Von himself would escalate things and get more than he bargained for, and little did he know that this feud over women would end up being the beef that would take his life.
No, it's kind of when people say, like, an attack on religion, that what goes around comes around doesn't work, and how come, like, say, take someone like King Von, done a lot of bad stuff, but did in the end, for a short period of time, live the high life that, do you know what I mean, 99.99999% of people are never ever going to experience, never even going to know what it's like to be like in that position. And you think of all the like the real shit he's done and the real street beefs he's been in, and then some dumb girl shit, famous shit with some boy that has nothing to do with you, it ends your life. Like, if you ask me, that, like, that's a humiliating way to go. NBA YoungBoy's got his girl on the track. he then gets killed, and it's all like nothing to do with nothing. There's kind of, you can say in a way, like a kind of justice that King Von, all the bad shit he did, kind of, when he died, yeah, it's like kind of is kind of embarrassing that he would die over something so stupid, especially seeing as what he survived. Like, and the fact that he made it out, and then to just die over some nothing beef with no one to you, really, just over nothing. Like, yeah, kind of in a way is what goes around comes around, and it come around and hit him in a way that just doesn't look good for him.
Barely a week after the release of his debut album, Welcome to O-Block, King Von's story would come to an abrupt end. The week before his death, King Von would be reflecting on Instagram just how far he'd come, and reminding himself to enjoy these times because he knew there would be hard times coming.
Going through this, just losing so many people, gang. I lost so many people, man, going through this. Man, crazy. But now look where we at right now. You see what I'm saying? Like times like this, you gotta take it in. I just told my homie them, y'all gotta take this in. You see what I'm saying? Looking for them. I'm here with day one. This shit. And we in this winning, man. And we living on King Day. When we ain't dead and we ain't in jail. And we ain't broke. And we ain't, you know. Life, you gonna be down again. Like I'm up right now. It's gonna be times, you know, I'm gonna go through some more. I'm gonna go through some, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna think back to this time. I could always reflect on this time. Like, everything was going good in my life. Everything was going. That time, everything going good right now. Like right now, everything going good. I ain't got no complaints. I ain't mad about nothing. I know I done lost shit. I don't understand a lot of shit, but I ain't even mad about it.
Sadly, the good times would end suddenly, and Von would end up losing his life at the very height of his career. His album Welcome to O-Block had debuted at the unlucky number 13 on the Billboard charts, ironically just one position above NBA YoungBoy's album Top, that had already spent 8 weeks on the chart after going number 1. Then, just after midnight on the 5th of October 2020, Von would tweet his location for the evening. He was playing a show at Atlanta club Opium. Von would go live on Instagram on the way to the club, seemingly in good spirits and rapping along to his own music. He would do a live pre-show with the name of the club pinned, and he would be seen on Instagram posted up smoking hookah with his entourage of O-Block natives. He would go on to play that concert at Opium, where he would be seen jamming out on stage at the club, surrounded by his team and shouting out somebody in the crowd for wearing Not From 63rd merch, as well as dissing girls who were acting stuck up at the front of the show.
Man, I see everybody in this y'all act like y'all don't see a motherfucker. But I see a motherfucker in this bitch gang. I see you got that 63rd shirt back there, my This shit, no, I got to get back game. Oh, no, this got the get back game. I love it. I love you, gang. Yeah, you know, it's all love in this tee up shit. I done dropped that on that Welcome to O-Block. That going crazy. I don't want to thank everybody. You know what the going on. Stretch gang. There's a lot of bad hoes in here. I've been walking through them. Damn, it's decent shit in here. You know, slow down. You know, we trying to party and have fun in this bitch. I ain't gonna lie. We got the little bougie. They acting bougie right here. They right here. Y'all better stop that, man. So we finna tee up. I got DJ Bands in this.
Just after 1 AM, King Von would retweet a Young and Ace lyric with a caption saying that his crew are going to catch somebody and he sees them as food. Because while King Von is performing at Opium, Quando Rondo and his entourage are fresh off recording a new music video for the song The Drop, being seen on social media showing off an array of high-powered weapons that they're holding onto. After finishing his show, King Von would be seen leaving Opium in an SUV, and interestingly, that truck can be heard playing the NBA YoungBoy song My Window as it was driving away.
There'll be a lot of cars behind him. Stop playing!
Apparently Von would confuse his team by choosing not to go back to his Airbnb as his security crew initially thought. Instead, Von would take a last-minute and unexplained detour to the Monaco hookah lounge where Quando Rondo was, with King Von's manager, 100K Track, later telling DJ Vlad that his team was blindsided by the change in plan.
He went over there to the after party, and then his driver and his homeboy let us know that we was redirected. We're thinking we're going to go to the Airbnb or the hotel.
At around 3:20 on November the 6th, King Von would find himself outside the Monaco hookah lounge in Atlanta. Perhaps he knew Quando Rondo would be there, or perhaps...
I do a lot of ghost shit. A lot of demon shit. 3:20 he died. 3 o'clock in the morning. Devil came for his soul for real.
Just a coincidence. All we know is that while there, Von approached Quando Rondo and began assaulting him with a flurry of punches, with Quando's close friend Lil Tim opening fire and striking King Von 4 times. Security footage of the fight and subsequent shooting would circulate online after the incident. What happened that night is that Von walked up to Quando Rondo and sucker punched him outside the club and proceeding to beat him up in front of a huge crowd. But after throwing a few punches, Quando's friend Lil Tim would jump out of a car and shoot King Von 4 times. Von's friends from O Block, Slutty and Louie would attempt to shoot Lil Tim, leaving him wounded but not dead. After shooting Lil Tim to the ground, they would attempt to execute him on the floor, but the gun would jam. Whilst this is going on, a wounded King Von continues to wrestle with Quando Rondo on the floor. At this point, Von's other friend Muwop would approach, punching Quando Rondo to the ground and separating him from Von. Meanwhile, after failing to execute Lil Tim, Slutty and Louie would attempt to flee the scene, without realizing that they were running directly towards undercover police officers who would open fire, believing that their lives were in danger too. The police would kill Slutty and leave Louie in critical condition. Muwop and other O-Block members would drag King Von's limp body to a waiting car and rush him to the hospital. But what's even more crazy is that Quando Rondo would take Lil Tim to the very same hospital that King Von and his team were at, with Quando Rondo even going live, showing himself trying to get Tim into the hospital and get assistance. PHF Bezu would later post saying that he'd seen Quando at the hospital, suggesting that they would have shot him if he didn't start recording. But ultimately, King Von would be rushed into emergency surgery in critical condition after the shooting. He would ultimately die in hospital, with media all around the world waking up to the news and reporting on his death.
Yeah, Rick and Sean, according to GBI, rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued. Believe it or not, this all playing out right in front of 2 Atlanta police officers.
One of them was actually inside his patrol car or next to his patrol car with his blue lights on.
APD responding, attempting to stop the shooting, but it was too late.
It hit like the one officer that did respond. He tried to protect himself and stop what was going on.
The investigation on this shootout will continue. No officers were injured during this incident. According to GBI, this is the 82nd officer-involved shooting that they've been requested to investigate in 2020.
After King Von died, some of the friends of people Von was rumoured to have killed would post on social media. Billionaire Black would post a picture of Modell McCambry, and the person who was shot with Modell the night he was killed posted a picture of FBG Duck, saying that Duck would be happy greeting Von in the afterlife. P5, aka Crack's cousin, would post on Facebook saying that he had been praying for the day that King Von would be killed, whilst other friends of Crack would post tributes now that their friend's killer was no longer alive. Apparently, Crack's little brother would even post saying that they caught 2 of the 3 people who were...
What a bunch of pussies. What a bunch of pussies. I know, like, Von did bad shit to their mate or killed their mates, whatever. But then do something about it. Or wait till someone else kills him and then celebrate about it. That is some cowardly pussy shit. It reminds me, what's the thing? When the lion's dying in the jungle and all the rabbits and all the like antelopes and that are laughing because the lion's dying. And then they're all laughing, and then the lion says, yeah, well, you might laugh now, but I was a lion once. Meaning, well, yeah, at least once I was a bad motherfucker, whereas you lot are just a bunch of pussies celebrating my death, but none of you had the balls to actually do anything to me while I was alive. Like, yeah.
When Crack was killed, and suggesting that they were disappointed not to be the ones who killed Von. Outside of Chicago, affiliates of NBA YoungBoy like Big B would mock King Von in an Instagram story, saying that it was funny that he was the one who started the beef and dissing NBA YoungBoy, and now he was the one dead.
The joke's on you, you diss, now you getting rapped down. Yeah. Yeah.
Meanwhile, people on Von's side would express their heartbreak at losing their main man. Asian Doll claimed to want to die when the news came out, and Lil Durk would mourn the loss of his twin. Even rap's #1 superstar Drake would post a tribute to Von after he passed. NBA YoungBoy's biggest enemy, Fredo Bang, would also mourn the loss of Von too. 12 days after his final tweet, somebody would take control of King Von's Twitter account, releasing a statement thanking everybody who supported Von whilst he was alive. There would be a media frenzy around King Von's death. Funeral homes were also refusing to take King Von's body due to fears of violence at the ceremony. And when the family finally found a place that was willing to host the funeral for Chicago's most famous killer, they were forced to have it at 1 day's notice. Eventually, Von would get the peaceful burial his family had hoped for, with Von being laid to rest in Chicago on November 14th, 2020, with pictures of Von's funeral program and casket being posted on social media. But being such a divisive figure in Chicago gang politics, Von's enemies continue to disrespect his gravesite to this very day. Naturally, Von's death sparked a strong response from many of his supporters. 600 Breezy claimed to be headed to NBA YoungBoy's hood at 150 miles an hour with the Steppers. BJ, who was also shot the night that King Von was killed, would also post saying that their ops are cursed now that O-Block is after them. Meanwhile, NBA YoungBoy affiliate Michi replied and said that people only really slide in silence.
Right there all day, doing no hell, scary, doing all that capping, get on that shit, man. Real don't speak. Hey, if you go do something, man, do something. You don't come to no city and annihilate you in the city, man. You was supposed to slab out that, man.
Von was eventually memorialized in his native O-Block with a painting that became a tourist spot. This mural became a pilgrimage for both die-hard fans who wanted to show their love and death-defying ops who wanted to show that they're not scared to come to O-Block, with longtime rival FBG Cash posting up at the mural with a disrespectful caption towards Von, with Cash himself ending up being killed only months later. Once a few months passed from Von's death, his self-proclaimed twin Lil Durk would dedicate his next album, The Voice, to King Von, releasing it on December 24th, 2020, with a front cover that depicted Durk and Von together. And eventually, Quando Rondo would break his silence about his involvement in the incident that claimed King Von's life. On the 20th of November 2020, Quando Rondo releases the song End of Story, a song that's title is a disrespectful play on Von's most popular song, Crazy Story. And in the song, Quando touches on the incident that ended up taking King Von's life, expressing frustration about being judged and saying that other people's friends wouldn't have defended him like Lil Tim did, as well as essentially dissing King Von and his friends, saying, "Blood on your brother on the ground, go pick your mans up," as well as rapping that him and Tim are claiming self-defense and that Von should have never put his hands on Quando. He would also claim that this situation led to $1 million bounty being put on his head. And following the release of this song, he would also elaborate further on the events that unfolded that night in an extended interview with Angela Yee, speaking on the situation, saying that the night that Von was killed, he thought he was just letting a group of random people walk past before being suddenly sucker punched by Von.
Like, I'm thinking it's some regular individual. Next thing you know, a nigga hit me.
Quando would say that the entire incident felt like an out-of-body experience to him.
It's like I had an out-of-body experience.
Quando would also claim that the moment that King Von came over and started to fight with him, he felt like the devil was coming to get him.
Like, it's like the devil was coming to get me, like...
Quando explained to Angela Yee that Lil Tim was his day one homie and he would protect him from anything.
One thing about it, he gonna protect me with anything, which anybody should do.
Apparently, while the gunshots were going off, Quando says that he prayed, unaware of what was going on and only coming to his senses after both Von and Tim had been shot.
On some out loud screaming jive, like out of body experience. It's like everything went back normal and I've been back down.
Quando was adamant that he didn't even know that it was King Von that he'd been fighting until the next day.
I didn't know this was him. Ma'am, I swear to God, on my soul, ma'am, like, ma'am.
Quando would also say that he didn't know about the beef between YoungBoy's camp and King Von's camp when this all went down.
Cause I know dude just dropped the tape. Like, was they trying to do something to me? Just boost him up or like, what? I don't know.
You just don't know where. You just don't know where it came from. You have no idea.
However, unfortunately for Quando Rondo, there would be more tragedies headed his way personally following the death of Von. In the aftermath, Quando Rondo and his team would be a frequent target of what appeared to be revenge attacks. He would be targeted in a shooting at a convenience store in Georgia on the 2nd of May 2021, luckily escaping without injury. But in the next incident, Quando would be less lucky. On August the 20th, 2022, Quando Rondo and his entourage would be targeted in a shooting in Los Angeles, an incident which left his close friend Lil Pab dead and a devastated Quando Rondo being recorded at the scene in the immediate aftermath. King Von's life was one of extremes. He grew up in extreme poverty with a major disadvantage.
That's the thing, he kind of killed someone famous. Like, it doesn't have to be just King Von's friends that's going to be mad about it. It's Do you know what I mean? He was at that point, he'd literally just become a big rapper.
He found himself being drugged into the extremely violent streets of Chicago, and he ended up being allegedly one of the most violent killers in O-Block's history. By the time he died, he had been connected to at least 11 murders that I've read about, but ultimately we'll probably never know the full extent of Von's activities in the streets. There's no doubt that Von was a prolific gangbanger and shooter, but having spent so much time analysing him and the things that he did in his life, it's hard to ignore the pleasure and pride that he seemed to get, not just from killing, but being known as a killer. An everyday gang member or even mob hitman tends to kill for survival or money. But for Von, reading all of his tweets and lyrics, it's clear that he derived a great deal of psychological pleasure from the killings that he was associated with.
Now, I think it's more that that's another survival thing. He's in Chicago, in a rough area of Chicago, where it's two violent sides warring with each other. Having the reputation of a killer in that situation, it's not gonna, it's gonna do you a lot of favors, basically. It can't hurt. Like, it's what 50 Cent says. As soon as everybody knows, like, the reason why you gotta fight is because once everybody knows you can't fight or you won't fight, everybody wants to fight you. It's just how it is. So I don't know why kind of having that wanting a reputation of being a killer and that is it is out of survival, because you want to walk around and kind of your name being all you need to kind of be safe. Of course, that's for survival.
It seemed like he was more satisfied by carrying out a hit in the streets than making a hit record, and perhaps that's why, when he got rich and famous as a rapper, he couldn't leave that in the past, because he wasn't killing to survive, he was killing for fun, and gaining satisfaction from the whole world knowing what he had done. There was no reason for Von to take so much pleasure in the murder of Can't Get Right, and there really was no reason for Von to put a $100,000 bounty on FBG Duck's head. Von would have been a millionaire by this point, and FBG Duck was also a successful rapper in his own right. Duck wasn't a threat to the survival of Von or any of his friends at this point. No, to Von, Duck was just another trophy, another body on his tally, another score on the board. Sadly, many people look up to King Von for what he did in the streets, but I don't think that's much different from how other serial killers seem to get idolised. Someone like Jeffrey Dahmer was known for targeting black gay men in his community, partly due to the fact that he knew he could get away with it. And when it comes to King Von's alleged victims, it seems like he had a type too. Young black men and women from the same poor and overpopulated area he was from. Because, perhaps like Jeffrey Dahmer, Von knew that the cops simply didn't care enough to solve these crimes, so he knew he would get away with it. And he did get away with it. For his entire life. Von would beat every murder investigation that his name was ever placed in. But if he was alive today, he very well may have been facing a life in prison for his role in the killing of FBG Duck. Von gave the world a lot of great music that told one of the most unique and raw stories to have ever come out of the Chicago drill scene. Von will definitely be remembered as one of the biggest and best rappers to ever emerge out of the city. He made great music, but also did terrible things. And so realistically, he'll probably also be remembered as rap's very first serial killer.
Well, no, I don't think so, really. I don't think so. I completely disagree. There's a big difference between Jeffrey Dahmer and him. That was spoken like someone who's not ever lived in a rough area or has never experienced a rough area like that. Like, nah, whatever he just said, that nonsense at the end saying about Jeffrey Dahmer, like, gay black men so that he knows that the police wouldn't care about it, blah, blah, blah. That's the case, then why not prostitutes? That's why they do prostitutes, like. And also, Jeffrey Dahmer ate them. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a completely different thing. And the pleasure that King Von's getting, and like saying about the FBG Duck killing, that he was no longer, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether he's a threat. FBG Duck has dissed King Von's dead friends. Like, it's like, that is literally just what gang war is. Tit for tat, that's all it is. And, yeah, nah. I don't think he like. You could say he's a serial killer in the fact that he done a series of killings, right? But nah, he does not fit the description of a serial killer. I thought that was yeah, nah, I'm not buying that for a second. Is he a bad motherfucker? Yeah. Is he a little savage? Yeah. Is he an idiot for dying like that? Yeah. Like, yeah. But to be a serial killer is a very different thing. Yeah, nah. I say nah. Basically, if that's his kind of thing, was that he showed, but then so did everybody else that was in the video with him. So they're all serial killers too, just because they get pleasure. Why would you be a gang member, have rival sides, if you kill the other side and then feel bad about it? Or someone from the other side gets killed and you put... Nah, I'm not. I say nah. Let me know your thoughts. I mean, you can say he's a piece of shit. You can say, yeah, whatever, but I don't think you can say serial killer. And the whole thing with eating cereal again, it's like, how many rappers have kind of portrayed the serial killer? Eminem even does it. And again, like, someone like King Von, like, saying things like that, it is a kind of, that is a defense thing. That he wants people to feel like he's that bad motherfucker you shouldn't test. But yeah, nah, I don't think he, as someone who's watched a lot of serial killer things, nothing about what he's described would tally up to be a serial killer. Is like, because if that's the case, then pretty much everybody in Chicago is. There's a reason they call it Chirac. It's because it had a higher death toll in Iraq when the war was happening. So it's, yeah. Yeah, nah. I'm not buying the whole serial killer thing, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. But that's the end. Sweet.